Are we good?
Oh yeah, we are.
All right,
We're back.
Welcome back, part 2 of Sergeant Pepper.
I'm back too.
Woo!
Okay.
Thanks, Oberious.
Thanks
for being back.
What was the phone call about?
Bleep.
Yeah, bleep. Nice one. It's Oberious. It was a job interview for a music place thing. So yeah, more music, more stuff, and being able to pay bills.
Yay!
Yeah, some background. We're all musicians. So we're not just...
Except for Pat. I'm just kidding, buddy.
I'm a left-handed musician, if that doesn't count for anything.
That sounds like some kind of innuendo if I've ever heard.
You guys can't see, but we all just put quotes around the word musician for him. I'm just
so
kidding,
many
buddy.
quotation marks.
Your 8-string guitar is fucking sweet, and I wish I could play it, but I'm ready. That makes me so mad.
Well, welcome to my world every time I go into a Guitar Center. Anyways, back on to...
Guitar Center.
Sorry,
yeah.
enough about personal problems. We're just going to start the record, and we're dropping the needle in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah!
Yay.
We have liftoff.
Alright, and I just want to start out. This is my favorite song off the album, hands down.
What's your favorite Beatles song?
Where's that list? Oh,
You made a
I thought it was Here Comes the Sun.
It is.
We have already gone over this.
I know.
I'm
I just
sorry.
want to be honest. I just wanted to see the other ones I put down because I wrote this in the car.
Oh yeah.
You wrote while driving?
No,
That's responsible.
No,
that's
I wrote,
really not
no, I wrote
smart.
while I was parked outside your apartment.
You fucking stalker.
You should have seen this one time that, I'll say his name, we'll just bleep it. I was coming back from dinner once. I was in Maryland, and I was coming back from dinner, and he was like, he gave me a call while I was in the restaurant, and he's like, hey man, you want to hang out? And I was like, yeah, sure man, yeah, I'm out to dinner right now with my folks. I'll hit you up when I come back. And as we're coming back, we're driving in the driveway, and I look over in the cul-de-sac in the circle where I live, and he's sitting in his car waiting for me to come home. Just like stalking outside of my house.
It's okay.
Like,
we all stalk you at one point or another.
You get out with your parents. It's like, get in the van. No. What the fuck? I don't know. Anyways,
I have a van.
Can we go
You
back
do
to
have a
talking about sitar, please?
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
yeah. So this is what? This is the Harrison piece of the
Correct.
of the album, which you can kind of tell because Harrison normally. I feel like any time Harrison does a song, it stands out on the album.
It
Or
always
something,
sounds
yeah.
different.
Like you could, there's a different like his other song like My Guitar Gently Weeps. I think stands out on the album that's on too.
Oh yeah, on the White Album.
Yeah.
At least that side of it.
Yeah.
And you know, Harrison was, if you need a little background, he was trained in sitar in the oral technique of sitar players.
The
and just
traditional,
the
yeah. He
traditional way
studied
of doing it.
ragas and whatnot, and the different rules. Like when you play up, you use this scale, but whenever you're descending lines, you know, you can't raise the third when you're descending, and they don't write anything down. It's hundreds and hundreds, maybe 1,000-year-old tradition of, you know, a master and a protege of sitar.
Yes.
He went and studied, and it
Always
changed
true,
his
there
musical perspective and his mental perspective with some other experimentation out there. Lucy in the Sky, LSD drugs. But it changed him, and I think that influence was something that the Beatles desperately needed, and that helped. This song by itself helps complete the record, and when side A is over and you flip to side B, it starts with this weird, like, sitar and raga tabula song, and it's so different from anything they've ever done.
Yeah, you go from the benefit of Mr. Kite to
That
this.
upbeat, weird circus
Well,
song.
it's the first it's the first song of side 2, and it's like, how are we going? Because obviously this is on record, so whenever people got it originally, you know, you have to go over, you have to flip the record, but we've been talking the entire time about, you know, how all these songs paint pictures. I think this is just one of these other ones. It's like, I don't know, this is one of the songs we can close your eyes and you can just like picture it.
I
Yeah.
almost see this song as being like what's playing in the back room. Like the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, they're out playing whatnot, and they just took a 10-minute break and they go off in the back to listen to some quiet sitar music and like smoke a and hang out. It means cigarette. In case you don't speak Britain.
Americans.
Yeah,
In case you don't speak English.
Yeah, I don't speak English.
But
It's a nice break from everything else, and then you work back into what's the next track? When I'm 64.
Oh,
Is that the next one? I
yes.
can never get the track order right in my head.
side 2.
It should be.
I think so.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
believe
when I'm
it is.
64.
When I'm 64, and it immediately goes to this, like, you have that wonderful clarinet line and the prim and proper kind of Britishness, and this is
64.
this is the opposite, you know. And
Yeah.
there's always one Harrison song, and his songwriting it stands out. His influences are a little bit different than Lennon, Ringo, and McCartney.
Well, every time Ringo writes a song too, it stands out
They
too.
hang it on the fridge with a gold star.
We'll put it right next to your spelling bee.
He's fascinated with water. It's always about octopi and submarines and just like marine bullshit.
I bet he loves the ocean.
Maybe he almost drowned. Oh, that was me. Never mind.
Wow,
That's a story for another commentary.
That was like one word away from going super dark. Thank you.
When we go dark, we go midnight. We go really dark.
If there wasn't a microphone in the way, I'd smack you.
I'm trying. I'm really trying.
Smack
I'm
him
tired.
with the microphone.
I'm a little hungover, actually.
Will we still be friends when you're 64? Probably not, because I'll be dead.
Ooh.
Oh.
And
it went darker.
That was the perfect amount of dark, but this is not. This song?
This is the most cheerful freaking thing ever.
I think of a nice British gentleman with a monocle, a little pocket watch, you know, strolling around.
And a giant
and
bag of money.
He's old, but he's got a spring in his step, and it's just a lovely picture.
Whenever I hear this, I just want.
64.
Every time I hear this, I just think of like the old phonographs with like the actual bell coming out and this playing on it. It has that. I don't know, like that.
Smoking a
sound
pipe
to
in his
it.
parlor, just sitting back.
Having like afternoon tea
With that one risque woman from down the street who shows a lot of ankle. And it's just really grabs you.
Quite.
For me, it's almost interesting. May I? Thank you,
Yeah.
Patrick. This song, in my mind, is sort of the beginning of. Let me rephrase that. No, I'll stick with it. The beginning of the end of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and them sort of becoming back into the Beatles. It's got this weird upbeat. It feels like some of their older music to me. Yes, the instrumentation is different, but the themes and motifs and the simplicity and just the fun that they had with it. And it's also them saying, like, will you still need me, like, when we're 64? Like, you just loved all of Side A and whatnot that the Hearts Club Band did. Do you still need and want the Beatles when we're older? And the answer is, fuck yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the reason why we picked this for the first album, is that the Beatles hold up. Like, they're evergreen albums, but I think there are also bands that are, you can say that they're evergreen bands, which means that they will last forever. I think the Beatles, like, this came out, what, 67?
67.
67? Okay.
2 years before Serialistic Pillow from Jefferson Airplane.
Yeah. Like,
2 years before Tommy. This basically
Here's really
predated a
dark.
lot of the other stuff.
Yeah.
But we were born in, like, what, 1990, 91? And this still, like, resonates to us. So it really does say something about the band and about
Really?
this album.
We
Also
care about
says
this
something-
record because we're sitting here painstakingly making commentary about it.
Painstakingly.
It's just
It
one,
is
yeah.
that hard.
So much fun.
This is one of those albums where, you know, even a kid's not going to be like, I don't like my parents' music, but, you know, the Beatles are still the Beatles. Everybody likes the Beatles.
I feel that concept of not liking your parents' music has changed with our generation.
Yeah.
I
Our
guess
parents listen to way better music than most of the kids slightly younger than us.
it's
Bad
because like our
Zeppelin.
parents were in the rebellious, you know, music generation. So like,
Yeah.
you know, we have no reason to listen to music to be rebellious against our parents, really.
Yeah.
Unless they're a bunch of
I mean, when I started listening to like really hardcore violent death metal when I was like maybe like 15, my parents weren't super happy with it, but and I said, and I quote from my mom, well, at least it's better than that hip hop bullshit. And she was kind of right. Not that I don't also enjoy me some rap and Eminem and shit.
yeah. It's just like you can't really. They don't really bat a lash at like anything that we listen to. They're like, yeah, well, what do they think of next? I don't know. We dealt with all that rebellion stuff. We don't care. You go ahead and be rebellious, son.
On an entirely separate note, this song, Lovely Rita, where we're at now, is the one that always felt sort of out of place on this record.
I feel you.
In my mind, like, it's a cool song, it's catchy, the drumming from Ringo is good, like, everything's good. The instrumental break is happening right now. Fun, catchy melody. But
was this making just space on the record? They
I
needed
feel like
to
it
make
was.
it 40.
But they already
44
put
minutes.
so much like we're sitting here painstakingly talking about this. Like they put all that time and effort in. Do you really think the Beatles are going to make a filler song or something
Okay.
like this?
this is about
you know?
him having a crush on the meter maid and
This
trying to
is-
bang her. Like, that's what it's about.
Well, maybe that's character development, Drew. Character development.
You know, just because an album is perfect doesn't mean that a song wasn't written as filler. I mean,
yeah.
I bet there are people out there listening who just love this song, that this is their favorite Beatles song. That's great.
And they're like, what's
But-
that When I'm 64 bullshit? Like, that's boring.
But that's the great thing about Sgt. Pepper. There's something for everybody on it. I see it as a filler song. Other people might not.
Could you
know?
imagine if there was some guy out there who did not like a song like, say he hated Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds? He's like, what's this Lucy in the Sky with bullcrap about?
Lucy in the Sky with bullcrap.
That sounds dirty.
That drawing, like, had his 4-year-old son Julian drawn that instead, it would have been so much funnier.
The world would be changed. A different place, a different time.
place forever.
You know?
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Now, Pat, you were saying earlier that like you thought Penny Lane should have been on this album.
I
Would you
really
have preferred Penny Lane instead of Rita?
It's a tough call.
For a person, I mean, personally, I love Penny Lane. I think that's a great song.
I don't think it would have fit.
I
quite
think
right.
for with
You
all
don't
of the
think it would
songs,
have?
just the
no,
sound.
I think it would have. I really do think it would have. In fact, we were talking about there
About
was
to ask if
which
you
one?
elaborate. There you go.
It's
Yeah, which one were we talking about that we said that it was isn't it the last song on the first side, right? Which
yeah,
is the last song on
The
the first
Benefit
side.
of Mr. Kite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
Being for the benefit of
you were away when this was happening, but pretty much what we were talking about is we were saying about how that one is kind of the way out there. Like all their songs on this album are a little out there, but that
Yeah.
one really stands out. And
That
I said
takes
what
the
they should
cake.
have done is if they wanted it to fit better in an album, I would say I'm not saying it doesn't, but I could see that song being on Magical Mystery Tour, and then they take Penny Lane and replace it. But honestly, I
But
really
then
like that song.
the whole,
Yeah.
the circus costume outfit and, the introduction to the show, like the...
But that's their band
the lion
outfits.
tamer
That's
or
the
whatnot.
band.
No, I know, but in my mind, one of the real central themes about this is that their life was like a circus, and that they wanted to
Yes.
escape it. And more interestingly enough, they made a fictional circus band to get away from the societal circus and do something fun and silly and just almost childish, in my opinion. And that
And I guess
I feel like that song is so necessary to hold this record together.
that is a really fucking good point.
Yeah.
I
Damn
can't really
straight.
refute that. Though I will say that the song is creepy as shit, and I think
Also,
that's
yeah.
why
Yeah,
Pat
yeah.
said it would be really fitting on Magical
Yeah.
Mystery Tour
Like, that
because
kind
of
of
just how
song- yeah.
psychedelic
I don't know that
it is.
record particularly well, so
That's
I
got
can't
the
really
Walrus, Strawberry Fields Forever, and Penny Lane on it.
That's really their
Well, I know,
most.
I
it's
know
the
the songs. I don't
weirdest
think I've
record.
listened through
Oh,
the whole
okay.
thing enough to just talk about the entire record.
Because that one
Yeah.
is Sgt. Pepper B-sides, essentially.
Right. Sort of like when Metallica wrote Load, and they're like, well, let's take all the shittier songs and put it on Reload, and people will still buy it.
Or like
Yeah,
Unload.
but these are two good albums we're talking about.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Hey, Load had some cool songs on it. If you...
We're not here to talk about Load.
Yeah.
Really quick, if you decided to buy a thrash metal record, get home, and then weren't disappointed that it was a hard blues album, it's still really good, but no one ever had that train of thought.
I say, save your money, just get Master of Puppets. There, end of it.
Hey,
Get Master of
now.
Puppets, not that one.
Hey now. Okay, so I love how that guitar riff sounds like a chicken clucking. That's all.
Is that not just a chicken clocking?
No, that was a guitar riff.
How did you do that?
So do you think this was in
Oh,
the...
this is also a hip hop beat? Can I take a moment to say that Ringo invented hip hop?
hip-hop?
Hip hop.
2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and the accentuation of the beats is what gives it that just like, yo, I'm Ringo and I wrote a song today.
This sounds like the Beatles just did a remix of a song they just did on the same album. That's what it always sounded like to me.
Remix.
The Beatles Club remix.
Ringo.
We should take Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band straight out of Compton and make it the same record.
I mean, Danger Mouse.
you.
No, Danger
Shut
Mouse
up.
did do it with the White Album,
He did
and then
that with
took
Jay-Z, yeah.
with Jay-Z. So it is possible.
Yeah, but that was Jay-Z, and it was
I
terrible.
think it's
This
a-
would be harder to do though.
This would be much harder.
I think
with
it's just
instrumentation,
it's a send up to the fundamentals of the group and just how
Mm-hmm.
they can blend into many different styles. And this song is a great example of that. They had to do a rehash, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
And you have your intro. This is like the outro, but they made it different, and that's great. And the
I also
crowd's coming
love-
back, and
It's
the
sort of
framing.
shaped. I'm sorry. It's sort of shaped
yeah.
like a hip hop song. You know, we're sorry, but it's time to go. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Side. It grooves. It's got the repetitive phrases and ideologies and whatnot, and it just sort of fades out. Like that is them summing up everything that the Hearts Club Band did in one little song, and it was stylistically very different, and it leads perfectly into in what I jokingly call the only song by the Beatles on
yes,
this record.
because the stage is over. The
Yep,
show is done.
Yeah.
The show is done, and the band went home. And you know what I always think of actually? I know you would like to hear in a minute again what you always think of when you hear this, but I always think of the band leaving, and this melancholy part is like the guy as the bar stools are getting put up, and he's having like the last drink.
Yeah, I could see that.
And it just. I keep saying that like each melancholy song is more melancholy than the last, but this is.
Yeah.
This is pretty depressing.
It's
Yeah,
also a
it is.
fantastic song. I always sort of view it as this is one of the members of the Hearts Club Band. I'm not sure. I mean, this song itself was written by Lennon and McCartney, so probably one of them. But this is the show is over. They're done. They've gone home, and this is the next day. You know, he wakes up after the show. It starts with. I don't remember what the lyric was.
I read the news today.
Oh, yeah.
Boy.
Oh boy.
Well, it's like,
Oh,
later in
boy.
the song, I got out of bed, I dragged a comb across my head and whatnot. This is a day in the life of him as, John Lennon or Paul McCartney, whoever it is, as a citizen, not a member of the Beatles
It's them
or
out.
a Hearts Club band.
It's the idea of them out of the spotlight. Like
Right.
while you're on the stage, you are the star. It's like taking that rock star attitude, and then that's great for you have it for 2 hours, but then the next day you're just
This is
the
real
average
life here.
Joe. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is real life, and
Yeah.
this is actually the song. I don't think we really talked about the rivalry at all between like the Beach Boys and the Beatles on this.
We touched
Oh,
upon
by
it,
the
but not
way,
really.
can I just say
Oh,
right
yeah,
now, sorry we don't give you a click track for this. We probably should. It would be really cool if we could, but
Click
right,
track?
but yeah, a click track.
I know what a click track is, but how is that relevant?
Well, I'm just saying because if they're on the same part right now, there was just that big build up. I love it. That's all I have.
Oh, yeah.
All that was just for saying I love that part. It
We're
really
in
is
too
great.
deep.
And I'm trying to keep on the fun in my hand. Sorry.
I don't know. I just wanted to touch a little bit on the rivalry between Beach Boys and the Beatles because this is the song where it was basically Revolver and Pet Sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was Sgt. Pepper and Smile. And maybe we'll get to Smile someday, because I have a copy of it. But,
Who knows?
Oh, foreshadowing!
the rivalry was nothing if not friendly.
Yeah.
So,
They were basically competing to get the best out of each other.
Right.
And
And-
keep pushing themselves. It wasn't adversarial.
And McCartney actually met with Brian Wilson and during the production of Sgt. Pepper while he was trying to put Smile together and played him this. And Brian came back completely heartbroken and told the rest of the Beach Boys the Beatles did it first.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's what also made him go deeper into his mental breakdown and not finish the album.
That's,
But
yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's before the whole Diddy did thing. The Beatles did it.
Beatles did it.
Beatles
Beatles
did
did
it.
it. Simpsons did it.
I
The
don't know.
Simpsons did
The
it.
way I sum this song
Park
up
reference
is
number 2.
Beatles did it first. I mean, this is
It's a brilliant
Nothing-
fucking song.
nothing had ever been recorded like this before.
I'm so sad. It's the end of
listening
the
to this
album,
song.
but
Aww. What else am I gonna do today?
I know, right?
Listen to more Beatles. I'm probably gonna make dinner at some point. I'm kind of hungry. Not that the listeners give a shit about that.
Qdoba.
Do you really want to go to Qdoba?
I really do.
Did we talk about that on...
We did, on side one.
God damn it.
All right, well...
I want a burrito.
Well,
it is
any last words? Any last words?
Yeah. Let us know when we post this. We want you to comment and let us know to see, like, what you want us to do. Give us suggestions. Also, give us your top 5 Beatles list. Or top 7.
Whatever.
Or however, yeah, just give us your top...
Top 5s are overrated. I want your top 6.5 songs.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's just keep the top 7 for now on.
I said
like,
6.5.
Everybody, 6.5? Okay, well...
I don't even know how that would work.
You know what?
Can you like half a song? Like,
How about this?
yeah.
Let's not listen to that.
Yeah.
If you're listening to the CD, I'm not sure if this is on there, but the little "Wouldn't Have It Any Other Way" should be coming up.
Wait for it.
Soon? Soon?
I forget how far back it is.
It's coming up.
Almost.
It's gonna happen. Almost?
Almost.
Yeah.
I'll call you old neck.
Oh.
Yep, that does not have that on there.
No, it did. It was very, very quiet.
Oh, it was
Oh, it
very
did?
quiet. Oh, we
Yeah,
missed it?
We've
Okay.
talked over it because we...
Oh.
Yep,
Oh,
CDs,
sorry, we wasted your
CDs,
time.
As you may or may not know, CDs have a dynamic range compression on them, so if you listen to the CD, that's actually quite prominent. On the record, it's quite quiet.
Yes, it's just, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yes.
Very quiet, very British, very concise.
Yes. Quite proper.
And we all go smoke a fag.
So, as Pat was saying, give us your comments. Let us know what you think, and just let us know what albums you want to hear us talk about. If you want to hear us talk about them, we have plenty at our disposal.
I guess the only rule is that we're not really doing any metal.
Yeah, I hate metal.
yeah.
Mike hates metal.
We love metal.
Not the
but
Pink
Mike
Floyd
doesn't
record,
like
metal. That is a great record.
Oh, wonderful.
But
I don't hate
metal
metal.
records, Mike is like, nah.
Mike,
So,
the last time we offered for you to play metal, you threw my vinyl across the room.
I would never do that. You know.
Don't lie to our fans, you piece of shit.
Yeah, okay, no,
Wait,
he never
what
did
fans?
that, but he's not the biggest metal fan, so we will try to get some metal in, maybe.
Yeah, no, yeah. In the
Maybe,
future, when Hell Freezes over, we'll play some metal.
Okay, well,
that we have to.
well
On that horrible note, maybe
that
this
note-
should be over.
Oh yeah.
all right, well, I'm Pat,
I'm Furstie.
Oberious.
and thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.
Catchphrase to follow.
Yep, catchphrase to follow.
We're not gonna see any.